Hi, so welcome to the reading. So today we're going to look at what the tree of life of the earth has to tell you. So in this card, we have journey, and here we have radiance. So please feel free to choose the pile or the stone that you would like more. And let's dive into what message has the tree of life has to us. So if you chose the pile number 1, please continue watching, and then we will see what is the message. So your card is this one, is Mikuna with journey and number 16. So we have an eye and a cloud and something boiling in the pot. So let's see what the other messages do we have. So I don't use tarot, I use metaphorical cards. So they help me channel the message for you to help you more clearly understand what is the message right there. Oh, here's the tree visiting us. So these are the cards from the fairy tales. And somehow it talks about a long journey. A long journey in different times, having a different status, witnessing a lot of facts and events. And it's somehow the tree would like to free up the society and community out of this history and make them fly and reach up more again. In the past events, we had a lot of negative influences that took a toll on our ancestors and upon ourselves. And it talks about that the history is very long. We see here Egypt. We see here kings, rulers. We see even a cat fighting, metaphorically. We see some kind of a castles and towers. And yet the tree is still standing. It still has hope. And it's giving you hope to understand that the history has an impact, but it wants you to help you to get free out of it. Is it either from your family line, like generational thing, collective thing? It says like there was a lot of things happening, and somehow yet is still alive in you, very alive in you. And I think alive in all of us. We maybe sometimes don't understand, but there are some topics when we talk about our country or people that are still hurting us, even though we do not remember, or as so we seem, or we haven't witnessed it. But even the stories from our ancestors are influencing us. And there was the reasoning of a lot of fears that are still in us. And the tree saying like, for all the negative things, there is a reasoning behind it. The tree wants to release you from the burden of feeling ashamed and guilty and stuck and lost and hopeful and all these negative emotions. It wants to say that it has a reasoning. It has a reasoning. It did not start with you. It started a long time ago and it's continuing on happening. Like, it's trying to show us a bigger picture. A bigger picture that a lot of things happened very, very long time ago. And not necessarily everything is our fault. There are things that are hidden. There are things that comes from deep down somewhere. But the tree would like to release you from the burden and try to forgive yourself from, maybe because you're not happy, maybe you because you're not thankful. You witnessed a lot of things that makes you sad and makes you disappointed and makes you lose hope. And that is okay. But the funny thing about the trees is that even though now we have a horrible environmental problems, we have a huge toxicity, and yet the trees are still growing. And they are growing their leaves and branches and their roots. And they're spreading and spreading and spreading despite everything what happened or what is even happening now. It's like a drop of hope for you to remember that despite anything, the trees are still growing. And there is a saying that the more trees we have and the taller they are, the more our conscience is open. Like they open up a huge, wide, new atmosphere for our brains and minds to feel. They pull up the pressure from the ground. And as the trees grow, we ourselves feel much more free and stronger and wiser. And it's a whole different feeling. For example, if you have a forest that has tall trees, 30, 40 meters, and then you go to the smaller, younger forest where there are trees like for 10, 15 meters, you can feel the difference. You do understand that they're still young. But when you go to the deep old forest and you see those very, very high 30, 40 meters trees, you understand that somehow it's different. It has some magic in it. You feel much freer. You feel much open. You feel calm. So the importance of the trees is very, very big. If you need a help to have a hope in your life, make yourself a little tree. Plant a tree. It can grow in the inside in the winter. You can plant it in your yard. You can later plant it anywhere you like to go. Plant a tree and let that tree be a reminder for you that there is always hope, and the tree, despite anything, is growing. The tree understands that there's a lot of baggage for you to carry. And, there's a saying that a soul is old as rivers and mountains and lands and roads. So, as old as the wall is. And the idea is that the soul does remind. The soul does remember about the things that were happening. And trees witnessed a lot of things. And you witnessed a lot of things in your life and in your family lives. And I think what the tree is saying is that the nature is giving us hope. It's still trying to grow and give us hope, to uplift us, to believe us. And When it's very sad and bad, just go and sit next to the tree. Lay on the grass. Look at the branches. Look at the, at the little flowers that are still growing. And despite the winter, when all the grass is dead, trees are still there. Trees are still there. So I think that the tree of life is reminding us to, if we ever feel down, to always look up to it. Like it will give you support, it will give you calmness, it will give you everything that you need. If you feel very bad or very sad, just put a hand on the ground. For a few seconds, for a minute. Just give a hope for yourself connecting with the nature. Yeah, it might sometimes feel like there is a shadow over your head. And that sometimes make you wonder, should you go left or right? Which way to choose? Which way to go? Should I run? Should I fight? And it's a confusion of that so many things that happened that confuses you somehow, questioning yourself. The easiest explanation I can come up to my mind is when you are on a relationship, for example, or in a communication with a person that has let's say, any disorder, and you understand how that communication is very hard, and that everything you do is not working, like everything you do or you say is not right, not on the right moment, not on the right voice tone, and etc. And sometimes you don't know what is actually happening. And it makes you question yourself, like, am I doing something wrong? Am I saying something wrong? Or what is happening? And then it makes you think like that is your fault, or you're not seeing something fully. So a lot of confusion going around all around you sometimes make you think that everything is just your fault. Maybe you're not viewing the world right, and everyone has a different point of view, and can make you think of like, what is actually happening? And that confusion gives you so much triggering that you sometimes cannot connect the dots. You understand, like in a chaos, you would like to find peace. So it's a similar situation when there is so much chaos going on around you, and you don't know, like, should you do something because you need to, or should you do because you want to? What is the right decision? Your heart says one, but your head is saying the different thing, because when you showed your heart and did something from the heart, it was not understood. And that confusion is very, very triggering for you. It makes you question yourself. And I'm here, and I'm just seeing like an old story, a book, a book that is full of information and full of mm, so many. I'm seeing like a pile of different texts and witnessing and situations and the things that happened. Like there's a lot of history. And when something happens again and again and again in your life, you start to question yourself. Maybe there is something I'm doing wrong. But let's talk globally. For example, in the history, we witnessed that the wars were happening again and again and again and again and again. And maybe there are only a few people that were doing the thing and doing the wars. And the many of the population were not even a part on the decision making. It was just some parties working together, trying to take some land and make some plans. And many of the community were just like a victim to the situation. And that situation is ongoing right now. And we're still trying to manage how were the world supposed to be. Should it be that stressful? Should it be that hard? Should it be that lonely? Should it be that difficult? And yet we're still having a few people on the decision making, and we're all just a part of something bigger. And what is happening is then when we are thrown, like for example, you're thrown into the ocean and there is a very, very big waves, and you get tired swimming in those big waves. Can you blame yourself for not being that strong? For not being able to continue on swimming more and more and more non-stop, without the rest, without the daydreaming, without the relaxing. And then at one point of time, we just lose the swimming and we just go with the flow. And sometimes it is not even like important where the waves will take you. They either way take you to the one shore or to the other shore. But there is no time for you to step aside and just be and create. And that is the difficulty that we're having. And the tree is saying that I do understand you. It is not that natural as it is in the nature. It is not a natural, it's not an ecosystem. It's a system that was made for different purposes. And I feel that the huge feeling of an empathy, like it does understand you and it does understand us. Like we're thrown into here and we're supposed to survive and be happy and find ourselves and have a discipline and motivation and everything like that. And we can do all of it despite the creation. And I'm feeling a lot of sadness coming from the tree. And that it understands that those shadows are hindering us. And it's not an easy option. So that's why we relax in the nature, because it reminds us of something that is naturally growing, easy flowing. It's just there. It has no obligations. It has no restrictions. It has no rules for you. You can just be there. And that's what is so exciting about the nature. That's why we like to go into the forest, to go into the mountains, to go sit next to the river. It has no obligations. We can just be there. But if we go to the city, if we go somewhere, we then have a lot of obligations. We have to meet to be a part of that jungle. And the tree is like trying to give you support and give you some inspiration that you can still grow no matter what. You are still growing. Don't you think that if you're sitting and don't not doing anything that you're not growing. You are growing, you are spreading your wings, you are doing something. It has a lot of empathy for us. A lot. And if he could, he would cry. And maybe he is sometimes crying. And I'm hearing like, you don't even look at us anymore because we have no time. Because we're always in the rush, always running, always going somewhere. Always on our mind. And they're like, you're not even looking at us. And there's a wonderful thing about the nature is that the nature is giving our best when it has our attention. When we look at it with love and hope and just adoring all the nature, the trees and plants and animals, they are so softened by the feeling that they will give you any fruit that he will have. He will do anything to be needed and important to you because the nature is a part of what we need. And the nature's part is to give us a home, food, a place to be. And everything that's around us is growing because of us and for us. It's not other way. It's the nature. The nature is for us. And if you would like to be a part of that, the trees would grow more. And that would be more of them. Is that look at them, adore them, look with love, touch them, tell them how we need it, tell them how they can change a lot of things if they grow taller and much faster. The taller the trees they are, the higher vibration there is. And many energies that are in the lower vibrations, they cannot hold the high frequency. Trees rise up the frequency. That is the point. And they're very sad. But despite anything, this tree of life, it is still growing. And it's very protective tree. Very protective tree. That is trying to protect anyone who is alive on this earth. And maybe what the message is that he's saying, like, if you need to, you can always talk to me. You can always come to me. And I will be there. I will be there for you. I will still grow and I will protect you and I will be there. It's like a support system. Like the roots are the support system of the tree. So when we think that our roots are broken down with a family, with the friends, with a community, we can always remember that there are trees with many very strong support system and they're supporting each other and they can give support to us. And then we have two last cards. Is the Transfiguration with the number 22. And then Wisdom with the number 37. So the wisdom that you get, the wisdom that you gathered from the experiences of you, of your country, of everything, can become something different. And there, the transfiguration happen. When we take something, we reshape it and make something new out of it. Transfiguration is a very interesting word. It's like transformation is when you transform from something to something different. But transfiguration is that when out of one thing happens to be something, a whole different thing. Like it reshapes, it remakes itself like a whole different thing. It's not even, you don't transform to something. You like from the deep down change your, even like, I don't know how to say, like existence, or the way that you are, the way that it is, and you transfigure it, like transfigure the thing or yourself to a whole different thing. It's not even a change. It happens from the things that you gathered from your life, maybe from history, maybe from the facts, maybe from your family line, a lot of things. You can take them in, use that wisdom, use your wisdom, and think of how you can transfigure those things into something different. Like we have like this, it's your wisdom and all the information, and then you think of how you can twist it and change it, like to a whole different form. A whole different form, I'm hearing. Maybe there's a thing you can change and understand how that is everything going from the past can be transfigured into something whole different and new. Some kind of a key that unlocks something very much new things. The wisdom that you gathered is needed, and maybe that transfiguration is something that would give a lot of people and you the hope that it might be better, that it might be better, easier, and anything like that. Transfigure those things into something whole different. Maybe do we need a last message for your motivation to be uplifted? So I think it is talking about yourself, but also about what you do. It does not matter in what area of life are you working, but you gathered a lot of things and you witnessed a lot of things. So there's now the tree is like motivating you to use the card is intuition. Yeah, the last card is intuition with the blue lotus. So it's like they're asking you to use the wisdom that you have. It's needed. Everything is important. Everything can be used, and it does not matter in what area are you working on. It's like you can always think of how to transfigure it, how to make it different, how to give another message, different thing, like how to reshape something yourself, the way that you do, the things that you do. Like I'm hearing, like to extract all the negativity, maybe from yourself or the people or the situation, the work field that you're in. Maybe you're working, in like sensitive areas like children, seniors, etc. And maybe for example, maybe you're working as a teacher and you witnessed a lot of stories. You saw a lot of things happening to the children and their parents. And sometimes it's hard for you to keep like hope even for yourself and for them. And to have a hope that, oh, you know, you will have a better life. Oh, you know, you will be happy when you have a diploma, when you will have a good job. But yet you see the parents and you see that we're still waiting for it to happen. And that is the hardest part, that is the most difficult to admit, that we're all still stuck on the waiting for better times. And it's saying like, maybe this is the time to understand how to transfigure that thing and try to make a change or impact, that it would be better than the things that you witnessed throughout your career, throughout your relationships, throughout your life, throughout your country or ancestral stories. So I think the message is that you have the power to do that, to transfigure hard things, hard stories, to make something whole different, new, something out of it. To transfigure it to hope, love, and faith, that people would, you know, make different thoughts, create different future holograms, and that would change the collective consciousness. But the tree of life is giving a lot of hope and support. And like I'm hearing, it is possible. And I'm hearing it is possible. Even though it seems like it is not, but I'm hearing the tree saying it is possible. It is possible, and it's not even that hard as it seems. It is possible. So do your best, pile number 1, and transfigure something. Even if you transfigure something in yourself, it will be good. And my advice for the ending is that you can always call on the love energy to yourself. And you just feel the love, and you think that it is nice to feel the love. Do not attach the love to any person or any specific tree or plant, just the love, the feeling. Fall in love of the feeling of love. And wish you the best, pile number 1, and see you in another readings. Thank you and bye. Hi, pile number 2. So today we're going to look at what are the messages from the tree of life, from the earth. So the first pile was very sensitive, very gentle, and we will see what we have for this pile. So your card is Radiance. So let's see what we have on different cards. So I'm using the fairy tale cards. I use them as a metaphor cards to easier channel the messages. And again, we have a tree. In the first pile we had the tree, and that we have tree again in this card, in this pile, sorry. Let's see what we have more. Yeah, I think it's connected with awakening. There we have a drum that makes a sound. And that in which time it will free up more and more as the birds. And when I saw this card with the sky and the falling star, the idea is that I understood that it's talking about the things we think of and put on somewhere. And the tree is saying that he understands now that there is a lot of loneliness. And this ghost somehow is reminding me of a fear. Of a fear. Even to radiate something better, something nicer, something easier. And when we do try to radiate something lighter, it seems like a whole shadow falls on us to just keep us suppressed. And I'm hearing is that you know that you have a key. You know that you have a key, and you can unlock a lot of secrets and a lot of things to make them clear and to see it. And somehow it's very different. They're very interesting, these cards. Like in this one, she's gentle and light, you know, and creative and open. And here she's much more mystical. She's like, well, let me see it. Like, well, what do you want? Like two sides opening up in different day and night time. And the idea is that the tree has a lot of wisdom. And the soul is something similar as a tree and as a universe. And it has a message to understand that you have all the information and you can unlock it wherever you want. So it's in the trees, it's in the sky. It's like you can get to anything that you would like to know. But the first card is radiance. Like the idea is that you would more radiate and wouldn't be afraid of the ghosts or maybe the loneliness, you know, as we see this house standing alone on the side of the ocean. The tree reminds you of some magic that you have in you, of the things that can awaken not even you, but many people around you. And yet there's a lot of fears and there's a lot of ghosts walking around us, that maybe sometimes we feel that they are empty, or sometimes we feel like the fear comes out of nowhere. It just crashes on us. And then we cannot radiate. It's like we cannot be open to the world. And these cards for somehow very strongly showing me that it's time connected with it. And the stars and the freeing and the drums, it's like something of like a awakening of something, maybe in you, maybe in the collective. Like, you know, even when something from the sky falls out, as we say, like, you know, a miracle happens. Like something like that is like, it gives some kind of a hope. I need some clarification on this. It gives us some kind of a hope. And somehow these 4 cards has a very deep message I cannot comprehend completely and communicate. But it's like you know, when the drums are like, and then everybody's like seeing and looking like what will happen, what will they play, like what is up, you know, when the tension gets beaten up with the drums, and everybody's like looking like, oh, when it's gonna start, oh, it's not gonna start. And I'm feeling and I'm seeing like a miracle, like something from the sky. It's like, you know, metaphorically, but like something from the sky will fall down that will free a lot of people. And this is like, I don't usually make future readings, what is interesting. And I don't know why the tree is saying that, but and then we see a market, you know, when people walking around and buying and selling, and like boom, like finally, like something happens, maybe in the people's minds, maybe something change. I have no idea. I don't want to I don't want to make any global predictions. I don't like doing that. But it's like, you know, when the tension is getting bigger, 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 and then maybe something like a crashes, you know, but somehow it's positive. Like I see freedom, I see birds, and when one of them is flying, like something falls out of the sky and frees the people out, like a massive universal miracle. Let's say it like that. Yeah, it's very interesting. I did not think of that of a plot twist. Um, and we think, and I think that we are, and in the first reading, I actually talked about that we are all stuck in waiting for better times, and yet they never come, and nothing happens, and nothing changes, and like the tension is getting stronger and stronger and stronger in everyday life, and in everywhere. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing to live with a hope for the future, that it will be better. I think that we all should live in this time, in this moment, in just right here we are and where we are. But maybe the tree still is giving us some hope to not give up. To not give up and just radiate the good vibes, radiate the love, radiate the hope and love and faith for ourselves and for others, and that makes the, you know, collective consciousness different. It affects it, it changes it, it gives it a whole different vibe. And I'm like, yeah, you use your magic, you know, be at the daytime, shine and be bright and do funny stuff, but sometimes in the nighttime you can do some, you know, work with your mind. You can generate some ideas. You can work with the other side, with the mystical side. Maybe unlock some things within yourself or within the situations that you see. Because yeah, right now I'm seeing is that there's a lot of loneliness and a lot of fear in a lot of us. And even though you have a family, even though you have a connection, there's still that scarcity that lives inside of us. And I'm not even catching, like, you know, many people like, oh, we all fear of the death. Might be, but I think that, you know, when you live happily, when you have everything that you need, you don't think of death. When you are safe, you don't think of death. When you see a tiger in the jungle in front of you, then you think of death. Then you think, oh, will I die or not? But when you live your daily life, we don't think about dying. But when we feel all the time unsafe, hunted, that's why we always are in the scarcity. Oh, maybe you will not have where to live. Oh, maybe you will not have what to eat. Oh, maybe you will not have enough gas. Oh, maybe you will not be able to support your children to go to get them to the school. There's a lot of scarcity in everybody, and I don't blame. I don't even blame anyone for being scared. I don't even blame anyone for being mad, for being sad, for being hopeless. It's a massive thing. But look how that tree with its roots is like, I don't know, like this bowl, like a nut, reminds me of earth. And it's like, even though it's cracked, and it might fall apart, it's holding it with its roots, like strongly holding it with its roots. And you have to understand that this part is in you. That tree might be your soul. Like, even though your body and your mental thing and everything is cracked and crashing every day, the soul is still holding it together to make you go somewhere and do some stuff and be there. But yeah, the feeling is that it's about to collapse, but something is still holding it tight. It's not letting it to collapse completely. Of course, we can say, oh yeah, but sometimes we need to let things collapse. Yes, but when we let things collapse, or a thing to collapse, then we have to remake it again, part by part, step by step, to create it again. So the collapse, how to say, how is that word? The collapse incident is not like very easy, and it's not that it will be created back again very easily. That's what you have to understand. If we have a story and then we delete the story, we have to rewrite it again if we want that story to be. If we switch the pages, switch the sentences, the paragraphs, it will make no sense. Then we have to fix it all again. Read, sit, and put the sentences back, put the idea, put everything back. So maybe what the world, the tree is trying to say, that it takes some time for these things to happen. But somehow it's talking about hopeful things. And maybe that do not lose hope, but to understand that do not blame yourself if you feel lonely or if you feel scared. Do not blame yourself. There's a lot of these things on earth. It's not only you. A lot of people are feeling this way. A lot of people, men, women, children, seniors, does not matter. And if you need to feel safer, if you need to feel more grounded, be around people. Be around people. You don't have to isolate yourself to be alone, struggle with everything alone, to be a fighter. It is very hard in nowadays world to fight, to be and to live alone. I don't care if it's your parents, if it's your grandparents, if it's your sister, brother, friend. It does not matter. If you feel that you're not coping good with the things that you're alone, have a roommate. It does not matter. It's good, it's bad. It's just, you will know that there is a person next to you. You know that if you will collapse, it will be if there will be a person, maybe a woman, if you're a woman, that you can talk. And you can talk, just sit and talk with the stuff that is on your head, and she will help you to get out of it. And when she is in that situation, you will help her to get out of that situation. If you're feeling alone and you think that you have to rent alone, you have to be independent, go live with your friends. There are no rules how we should live. But nowadays, if you don't have a partner, if you don't have it in your family, it's okay not to be alone. It's okay to join someone to be with you. It's not forever. Things changes. But if you feel that you need that support and that you need someone or something next to you, be around people. Whenever you feel tired, you can disconnect. You can be in your own cave. You can be in your own house. You can go alone in the forest. You can leave the city for the weekend. But I'm hearing like, don't isolate yourself. Because it's already hard. It's already hard. It's already hard as it is. So maybe they're just trying to say to you that there is no such rule of how we should live or how should we be. In the older times, yes, we used to live with our parents, and when we meet our partner, we go to live with our partner. But now, a lot of people that do not have partners, and they live alone, and they're lonely. They have nothing to share with. They have nothing to do. You don't have to have a hobby with that person. But it's just that you know that there is someone. And if you feel motivated, if unmotivated, if you feel sad, it would be just a good thing that you could just talk with that person and be there. And express that you're feeling sad, that you're feeling depressed or something like that. And it will help you to lift you up. You can lift you up yourself also. But I don't know why it's talking about maybe, I don't know, something with the connecting with the people. Maybe the connection between the people is lost. And what the tree is trying to say is that there should be communities, there should be more people being together and doing things together. Of course, it's much more important to have it with family and family members. Yeah, but like also as this card shows, it's like something has divided into parts, like we're separation, or there will be a separation. It might be that also. So I don't like making future predictions, but I'm just saying what I'm getting is that it might be a separation. It might be a separation of something. What the separation is about. But definitely there is separation in our communities. I mean, in everywhere, in between countries, in between languages, in between neighborhoods, families, wherever we look at, we see separation. So that's why it makes a lot of also scarcity and fear and loneliness, because if you don't belong to some kind of a group, then you depend nowhere. So if you don't have a specific group that you depend, and that you can say that you're, again, a tree. This tree is from the first pile. Yeah, the tree is very, very protecting of us. And like it sees that we are very separated and very lonely and very scared. And it sees that, and it understands why is this happening. But it is talking about some kind of dividing of something. I want to specify the message. And maybe talking about that, awakening is that it takes time, but maybe the tree just wants to give us hope that we would project to the stars that we are free, that we can create, that we can enjoy nature, maybe that we could have a better climate, higher trees, maybe that we could have different schools, like communities, try to help our seniors, that they would be also a part of our lives and our children's life, that they could relax, and don't feel lonely. The loneliness of the senior people is the worst in nowadays in the earth's history. It's the worst. And loneliness is one of the main killer of our vibe and our frequency. And this is the sad truth about loneliness. And lonely are adult people, lonely are teenagers. Teenagers are super, super lonely and misunderstood. And they have a lot of hardships. They have a lot of, they don't understand how the world works. They want to be someone in the world, to prove something to someone, to be powerful, to be something like that. But it's not the way to do it. So the best way is to take back our free will and will. Take back our will and understand that when we get back our will, maybe it will free us out. But the tree is very protecting. I keep looking at this card. It's like, I don't know, going into the city to maybe communicate, maybe something to buy, something to sell, like maybe you have to offer something to other people. That's why they're inviting you to connect with other people. Maybe you have to offer them something. You know, when we have some very good natural, let's say, chicken eggs, and we want to share them with, and then we tell people like, oh, you do eat eggs? Like, I do have eggs. Do you want some eggs? And then she says like, oh, you know, I have honey. Do you eat honey? And then you get honey and she gets eggs. Like, but maybe you have something to offer to other people. That's why they're saying like, do not be afraid of the people. You have something to offer to them. You don't need to hide from them. You don't need to be afraid, and you don't need to be lonely. And I'm just hearing like, make something that makes you feel safe, heard, and motivated. Like express yourself, and that loneliness that you carried might be an old shadow from your life. Like, this is not something that is happening in the past few years. I think it's a shadow that is still haunting you. And that's what I wanted to say. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a teenager, you're lonely. Then you grow up and then you have maybe your family, and sometimes you still feel lonely and misunderstood. Then you grow older and then you become wiser, and then you don't have health, and then your friends does not have health, and then you feel lonely again. It's what I'm saying. It's like it's an ongoing cycle on earth that we still are in between so many people, and we're still feeling lonely. But the person that, if you could have someone next to you that you could talk, even if you're a friend, like, you don't have to struggle. You don't have to be, an adult to have your own apartment on your own house. Like, don't care about these things. Do what makes your heart calm and mind easier. If being alone gives you stress, then don't be alone. Just don't. If you feel that oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, these two cards are falling down. So yeah, this is an island. I think it's not a living island. Then we have the devil. Yeah, I think it's talking about how it's in English. I don't know how it's in English, but divide and control. It's a popular saying that the more you divide people, the more it's easier to control them, to scare them, to make an impact, because you don't have a support system, you don't have anyone to help, and it's easier for you to be scary. So I think that the message from the tree is that get into communities, get each other help, wherever help that you need. Do you need a mental support? Do you need physical help? Like do you need to move to the sofa out? I'm talking, like when the girl's moving, like what do you like? What do you need? Like, how can I help you? How can you help me? But not like from the mind, but like get into communities, into the places where you can help each other out more, and then your connection becomes stronger, and it's much more harder to influence you, because when one slips, the other reminds, like, hey, do you remember what we talked about a month ago? Like, don't slip back. And she's like, oh yes, thank you. And that's all, just a tiny little reminder. The tree is very talking about the communities and bringing people together and putting back the divination like into something one and strong. It's like it's connected, and it's easier to control, to scare you when you're alone. And the funny thing is that when we go in a forest, for example, with a friend to find some mushrooms, and we're just going and we're laughing and we're talking, we don't care where we're going. We don't think about how we're going to get back. Maybe we, pin dropped our location. But like, even if we get lost, when you are together, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. Like, you can laugh, you can relax, you can enjoy, and you can find the way. And like, two heads are always better than one. And like, it's much more easy. I'm not saying that you have to always to depend on someone else, but it's like, how to say that? Oh, the old saying, when in the past it was easier to grow children, because the women of the village would help other women to help to grow children, and the seniors would help with the children, so the youngers could maybe do some work a little bit more, take care of the food, do the washing. And then the senior has a good time because he has a day with a child. And the child is very interested in the wisdom of the old person. And I don't know why. I remember one day I was talking with my friend and I said, can you explain why we so deeply remember everything from our grandparents? Like, we remember what they cooked for us. We remember the taste. And when you are a child and you see someone that old, is so curious, like, ooh, what have you seen? Like, ooh, what you're up to? Like, I don't know, but there's something with the grandchildren and the grandparents in this case. Yeah, and the idea is like, it seems like you are all locked in, the tree's talking like, you're all locked in the cement towers when you just sit alone and watch everything from the, up high. And yet you never come down and never experience. And it's not blaming, it's just saying what is happening globally. What is happening globally on Earth. And then we have the two cards that says purity and metamorphosis. Yeah, and the purity is that, when we are children and we are curious and when we go talk with anyone, with anybody, we talk to their experiences, and we just, when the child comes to someone, he does not have to prove to someone that he is a good human being, or that he's worth of something, or that he is, successful, or that something like that. So maybe the tree is saying that, call back that purity, that you're just a soul on this earth. And you are just pure as you are. You don't have to be no one. And there's this guy, he's standing naked. Like, imagine if you're like, have no nails, no makeup, just a simple light dress. And then you go to women's circle. You see a lot of women in the fields. And then you go to those women, and then you see that they have nothing. Like, there's no jewelry, there's no fancy dresses, just a simple dress. And maybe, you know, one has braids, one has a long hair, one maybe has a wavy hair. But you wouldn't compare yourself to them. You can see they have different eyes, different like hair color. But you would be more interested in what are they doing than how they represent themselves. Like, guys, are you just talking? Are you collecting herbs? Are you searching for something? And the idea is that bring back the purity. I am just because I am. And it's very hard in nowadays world. But I'm very glad that we're stepping out of that, oh, I have good things, so I'm someone or something. You know, the financial system has a very, very huge impact of how we lost the contact and touch with ourselves. It was like a very, very huge, how to say, wave that took us a whole different way from what we are. And it says like it can bring you metamorphosis, as like you are just you are. And just as simple, a woman that has a magic in her, that she doesn't have to do any special or magical. And I see there one's laying right there, and the one is standing and like having a lot of flowers and just spreading the magic. So like the magic, what the tree saying, that like we all know and we all forget that the magic is inside of us. But what I'm hearing is that it's harder to you know, to shine when you're all alone, and it's harder to catch you, and like the negative thoughts can catch you much easier, like because there's no one talking, no one being like around you, and like you're not in the present moment. And then we live in the past or either in the future, and we don't have the time to be in a present moment. So if it's not the person that you need to be with, or that you don't want to be, then it would be activities that would help you to be in the present moment, wherever it is, whatever it is, whatever fits you. Do a puzzle if you need to. Do a puzzle, do a herbal tea, make some creativity, you know, projects, paints, write, do wherever you need to. When you need to be in the present moment. It will help you out also. But the community thing is that you shouldn't be afraid of that. But I'm hearing again, because you have something to offer for them. So what I'm hearing is that don't be scared to ride that strange pumpkin magical carriage. Even though it's pumpkin, it's not a real carriage, let's say it. It's different, but it's magical, and it still does the job. It carries you somewhere. But there is a tendency that if the carriage is magical, there is a tendency that the road the carriage goes is also magical. So maybe it says to you that try to think more of the things that you have inside than of the things that you represent to outer world about yourself, because it's not about that. And that divination is very strong, and we all know from the history that there was always a hierarchy, like the ones with the money, the ones without the money, the lonely ones, the priests, the warriors, the witches. Like there was always castes in the world, and there was always divination to trying to make you to be in some kind of a group. And if you're not in that group, you will feel lonely. And now we don't even know what the groups are. Artists, IT guys, people who do yoga, spiritualists, we don't even know. Teachers, doctors, there are no things anymore. There are people doing whole different stuff. There are no groups anymore, and we don't know where we belong. And if we don't have any connections with our family or community or neighborhood, of course we will feel lonely. You know, when you're a nun, you have a ton of nuns around you. Like, you're not alone being a nun. You're in a group living with the nuns. But let that nun to live alone and be somewhere in the world where she would go. Like, with who she would talk, because the people who are working and have children, they will not understand her. And she will not understand the struggle of the people who have children and families. Like whole different worlds. So yeah, so the trees are saying there's a lot of divination, but don't lose hope. I don't know. I don't know what is the message. Like, the trees are giving some hints. Maybe you will understand what the message is. But like, the tension is getting bigger. And it's a matter of time when you will be free, when something falls out from the sky. I even rhymed it. So I don't know. If you have an idea, or if you saw some kind of a vision or dream or something, please feel free to share in the comments. If not, text me, like write me, because now I'm curious, because I don't know why the tree is talking about something like that. If it has a sense of secret, like it's not saying something fully. I don't know if it's connected with the whole community or with a part of the community, because I'm still seeing that you know, when we're from the one, there's happening a divination into two. Maybe it's happening for one group of people. I don't know. But if you know what I'm talking about, please comment it. When the tension is getting higher, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I don't remember. Oh, this is what happens with the channeling. Oh, when the tension is getting higher and the time, I forgot again. Well, doesn't matter. So I will have to write this rhyme later. It's very interesting. It has some kind of deeper message underneath it. Yeah, it's something different. And I think it's something for the specific, I don't know, it's for specific people. It's like secretive. It's like either want to say anything more. It's like a hint of something, and just like that. Like, just, I don't know, maybe to give us all hope. Just to give some kind of a hope. Very interesting. So let's see if we have any last message for this pile. And what it would be good for you to finish up. Yeah, you're like, don't be lonely. I'm here like, don't be lonely. Like, it's okay to be around people. It's okay to be, it's okay to want to belong. It's okay to live a happy, peaceful life. It is okay, I'm hearing like. it is okay. Don't worry. Don't think about anything. Not everything is happening for a whole lifetime. You don't need to get stuck somewhere. You don't need to run somewhere. Like, be independent as much as you want to. Be a grown up, but it does not mean that you have to be a strong, forceful, always very serious grown person who is trying to survive because he's lonely. And the last card is mother word with the word strength, and yet she has a lion protecting her. Then she has some people going right to her hair. She has a womb, she has some water, she has a heart in her chest. So yeah, the same message as for the first pile is that call the feeling of love and say that I love the feeling of being in love. Just remember the feeling when you were in love. Call the love energy to heal you. Call the love energy to the earth. Call the love energy to yourself and let it make and just give it a chance to do her job. So this is the main idea. For you to call out the love energy, it will soothe you, it will relax you, it will make you feel much more calmer. It will help you heal your body because the love heals our nervous system. So it's very important. So you can always call out on that energy. And I'm hearing like it's okay to live by like now. You know what you want in the future, but it's okay to enjoy and just to feel that you're living right now. The tree saying, we don't want you to get stuck in thinking of, oh, when the times will be better, I will be happy. They're like, we want you to be happy now because you have a lot of things to do. Ooh, this is getting serious. You have a lot of things to do. So it is better for you to that you enjoy what you do every day, and you move further and you are relaxed, you are stress-free, like you are chill. I'm hearing like all the trees and the tree of life wants you to be chill, so you wouldn't burn out yourself by being stressfully and mentally ill because it's just too much on your shoulders. So what is I'm hearing? And if you need to, you can always connect with your mother, your grandmother, sister, brother, wherever you have in your family. So thank you for the listening of the reading. And the idea is that if you feel that you need to connect with someone and you don't have to, please comment, and we will think of some kind of a community where we can share just voicemails, voice messages, and some information that would help that we will help each other out to not lose hope and faith, and maybe just get a nice advice from the people that are interested in spiritual things and interested in themselves. So thank you very much for reading, and if you feel called to, please comment below.